So the one thing that sucks about football is players retire. You know, not everyone plays forever. Except if you make every single person 1 year old. And that's what I did in Madden 25 here. We made every single player in Madden 25 exactly 1 year old. So, realistically speaking, because this franchise, even though it's offline, can only technically go for, I believe, 30 years? I believe it's 30 years. Technically speaking, none of these players will ever retire because, in theory, most players do not retire when they hit 31. Some of them do, but most of them do not. Now, I've done this video in Madden 24, and I'll be honest with you, it can get a little glitchy. What I mean by that is sometimes players won't age at all. So, like, for example, after 30 years, we might see a player who was 1 year old simply be 1 year old. Some players will age way too quickly. Some players will age kind of intermediate. With that being said, at a 1 year old, it looks like after one season, everyone is 1 year old still. Now, the good thing is this does not impact when it comes to, you know, any of their, like how good they are or how bad they are. They're going to still play exactly the same as they would normally. The difference is they're going to play how they would normally for the next 30 years. But contracts, they're going to go to different teams. That's another thing about this is that we're not going to see the same players on the same teams. So, for example, if you're like, I don't know, a Vikings fan, you're not going to see Justin Jefferson probably on your same team for the next 30 seasons. Eventually, he has to go to a different team. Now, EA Sports did change up a lot when it came to this year, when it came to this stat or area right here, where, for example, you can go by NFL or you can go by single teams. So, for example, if I wanted to say like the Bengals, you know, Joe's going to play for the next 30 seasons. So, he's going to eventually be able to take over the passing yards and passing touchdowns. So, we can look at this each season and kind of get a generalized look of what's going on here. So, I think what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to sim 10 years in 10 years at a time. Again, like I said, because these are all 1 year olds, they're still going to be on their squad, but I want to take a look at not only who won the Super Bowl, but also I want to take a look at if anyone can beat these records, right? So let's go ahead and sim 10 years in the future, but before we do that, might as well take a look at who wins the Super Bowl because it's our first season. And the Super Bowl is between the Ravens and the Cowboys, and this ends up becoming a, survey says, Cowboys beat the Ravens in the Super Bowl. All right, so I'm going to sim 10 years. We're going to see if players move sides, move teams, or really what goes on. I'll be right back. All right, 10 years in the future. And, what? Oh, I think we're in like the in-between stage, I want to say. So let's just take a look at league history. So the Browns won the Super Bowl the year prior. Aaron Rodgers, 10 years in the future, is still playing, and he is also MVP. Nice. Cooper Stroud is a player. Okay. So, Texans won the year prior, then the Broncos, then the Bengals. Okay. We had the Bears won a Super Bowl. We also had the 49ers won. Chiefs won. Okay, Chiefs again. Ravens won. And then going back to our first one, which was the Cowboys winning. Okay. So, question is, right, again, like I said, we'll see where everybody is and where everybody isn't. But, okay, did I just break the game? I think I have to, okay, I think I have to sim 1 week. Because I'm, like, in that, like, in-between period, I feel like. There we go. Okay, so now we're actually into the whole thing. Where is everyone at in 10 years? We'll look at records in a second. But Russell Wilson is the best quarterback in the league. Oh, yeah. So, if you didn't see my last time I did this, this happens a lot. Jaden Daniels is actually a Colt. So, because they're 1 year old, right, they don't go through the whole development process. Like, you know, when a player's 20, then slowly from 20 to 30, they're developed very quickly because they're young. They have, you know, 29 years of experience. You're young, right? You're young, you're going to develop faster. And then once you hit 30 and then up to 40, you're going to slowly fall off. You're going to regress, right? Well, the problem is if they're 1 year old and you sim 10 years, for those 10 years, they're considered young. So they develop just as fast as any other young player would. And that is kind of the issue, is when you develop as fast as any other young player would, you're in theory going to develop very quickly. Because all these guys, yeah. And also, in case you're wondering why is the oldest player in the NFL 28 years old? I didn't make the rookies. The first draft class is all going to be 1 year old, but after the first draft class, the rest of the draft class is going to be normal. So, for example, there are some who are a little bit older. But with that being said, the best player in the NFL is Harrison Phillips. So, Kyle Pitts is great. There's a lot of 99s, guys. I mean, this is the one dilemma is now the football. Everyone is good. So if everyone is good and so many 99s in the game, I mean, literally, this is actually getting ridiculous. Where's the first 98? Okay, so these are boosted 99s because of morale. Never mind, because these are also 99s. All right, let's see where the first 98 overall is. Okay. We're going to eventually hit a 98, I hope. Yeah, this is the EA Sports' system of let players upgrade over time if they're young. And forever, let them upgrade. Boys, when are we going to hit a 98? I'm not sure how many players are on this first page, but we might not hit a 98. We're not going to hit a 98 on this. Oh, wait, never mind, we did. First player who's a 98 is Azarius Smith, who's 11 years old. Then it's Ben Sinnott, and then it's all 98. So there's probably like a list of 98s as well. All right, so let's take a look after 10 years. Player stats record books. All right, so game stats for the NFL. Did anyone break anything recently? No. So single game stats are the same. See, the thing is, even if they play 30 years, they might never break the single game stat record. Season, though, they can. And it comes down to just simply... Wait, Michael Thomas with the Panthers? When did Michael Thomas have a season stat with the Panthers? Okay, interesting. Career stats, Aaron Rodgers now holds that for passing yards. Passing touchdowns, he holds that record. Rushing yards, okay, so yeah. Receiving yards and receiving touchdowns still have not been beaten. But catches have and sacks have, but interceptions have yet to be beaten yet. It looks like same thing with rookie stats and rookie seasons have been destroyed, but rookie stats have not. All right, so we still have some that has to get beat here, but like for example, Joe Burrow, he's gonna take over all the stats here. Jamar Chase gonna take over all the stats here. Sacks will be Trey Hendrickson. The snake Ken Riley is still interceptions, which is nice. Johnson, fullback here, is still the most rushing touchdowns. Corey Dillon still holds the record for most rushing yards. Actually, kind of crazy. But also, what's not crazy is the fact that some of these players, it's going to be difficult for them to break some record, like for team record, unless they stay on the team for a very long time. So, for example, if a guy doesn't stay on the team for a very long time, he's probably not going to break that record with that said team. Because if he goes somewhere else, then he's not going to have enough stats backed up. So it really also comes down to these teams re-signing these guys and keeping them on the roster for so long. But we're going to sim 10 years in the future, guys, and we're going to see these players when they're 22 years old. 10 years in the future. Let's go ahead and sim one game here. And yes, overall wise, as you probably guessed it already, they're all 21 years old. Yes, we have 1,000,000,099s. I'm just going to go over the top players here. J.J. McCarthy's now on the Raiders. Texans still have Joe Mixon. He single-handedly might be able to completely break every record on a Texans roster. I do love to see some of these guys just go to different places and move on with their careers. And then some of these players should have retired so long ago, like Kelsey, 31 years in the league. Aaron Rodgers is still here, guys. I mean, we're making brand new waves here, guys. I don't even know where Aaron Rodgers would even be. What squad do you think Rodgers is on? Because the Packers got Tua. I don't even know. Yeah, there's no way. This whole list has to be 99s, 100%. I have not seen Aaron yet, and I would assume he's a 99, because he cannot, there's no way he's going to regress. Like, no, we're way too early in the career of 21 years old. The Jets got Joe Burrow. Wow. Okay. Jamar Chase is a Buffalo Bill. That's kind of weird to see. And Aaron Rodgers is a Cleveland Brownie. And you can see, so here we go. This is a good example. He's 13 years old. So he's supposed to be, and by the way, 31 years old experience is the highest you can get in Madden. The game is not coded for above 31 years for whatever reason. But some players do not age. Like Aaron, for some reason, he is a common player who refuses to age over the age of 13. Joe Flacco refuses to age over the age of 16. And certain players will do that. So, for example, Stafford is a good example. Brandon Graham, Trent Williams. Some of these guys refuse to age over a certain age. Like, they hit a number and they do not want to get older than that. I don't know if it's Rodgers with the, ayahuasca, whatever it's called, the special stuff he goes on, but Aaron Rodgers still currently for career leads the career passing yards, passing touchdowns. Every record here is broken except for Vikings, which is interceptions. So interceptions, the only record who has not been broken yet. Everything else has been broken at this point. And Ken Riley still leads the team in interceptions. Hey, the mutant has 140 sacks, which leads the Bengals all time in sacks here. But let's go ahead and take a look at season here. So for season, looks like it is none of these were broken yet. So nobody broke the single season records here. Obviously for said teams they did most likely. Yeah, so like for example, Joe Burrow beat single season. And then rushing yards, same thing here. Everything was beaten pretty much except for touchdown catches here and interceptions. So interceptions seems like a very difficult one to beat. No team can beat interceptions pretty much. No players can. And for single games, still have not gotten beaten yet. Rookie games, still nothing new. And we have a lot of new for rookie seasons. 4,400 yards for passing yards there. 1,800 yards by Eric Dickerson. Still have not gotten beat. So some things are getting beat. So other things are not getting beat. So Packers, for example, it's kind of weird because when they go to a new team, they then carry over that said team, I think. Never mind, they don't. Wait, where is Aaron Rodgers again? Is he on the Browns? He is on the Browns, but for some reason he doesn't. So, are they going to say he's a Jet? Oh, they're saying he's a Jet. That's interesting. I mean, I guess to start this franchise off, he was a Jet. And at some point, Derrick Henry went to the Jets as well, and now leads everything in that category. Okay, so, I don't know how much longer we can do this franchise for. I'm going to sim 10 years, and I'm going to see if we can... If it does kick us out, it should be a 30-year franchise, so we should be good, but one second. Also, I kind of forgot about this part. Anyway, so let's take a look at who won the Super Bowl. Texans won, Buccaneers won, we got the Patriots won, we got the Raiders, 49ers, okay. Vikings won the Super Bowl, let's go. Is that the first? That is not the first, apparently, I don't think that's their first in this franchise. They lost 4 in real life. They've never won one in real life, but I don't know if they won one in this franchise already. I don't think they have, though. So that might be the first Super Bowl in this franchise. Yeah, definitely their first Super Bowl in this franchise. So they lost 4 Super Bowls in real life, but that is their 5th technical Super Bowl, and they won. So let's sim now 10 years in the future. One second. All right, so we got the official number. 2054 is when it officially cuts off and you can no longer actually sim any longer than that. So 2054 is the number. But that being said, the Bears have Deshaun Watson. So let's see. So overall wise, Dolphins, it looks like Aaron Rodgers for the Dolphins. 30 years in the future and Aaron Rodgers is still kicking it. Derrick Henry's still kicking it too, though. For career-wise, absolutely killing it. And Jalen Ramsey in 2053 officially beat the career interception mark. But for single season, only sacks were beaten by DeMarcus Lawrence. 30-year-old DeMarcus Lawrence, 2038. Wow. Let's go single game here, and it looks like nothing was ever beaten there. Rookie game, no one ever beat any record. So kind of crazy that a lot of these were not beaten in the end here, which I kind of expected them to be. And the Vikings won the Super Bowl again, this time with Bryce Young. It's amazing how all these guys just are leaving their said respected teams, and somehow, some way, Deshaun Watson's a good quarterback. So wait, MVP with the Bengals. Lamar Jackson lost the Super Bowl with the Bengals. You know, it hurts. That hurts, man. That actually hurts. It shouldn't hurt because, you know, I don't know. That is a weird situation. The Bengals lost 2 Super Bowls in this video. Are we really doing that, bro? They won 1. So they got their first Super Bowl win, period. But they lost 2. Which marks it down now as what? They've lost 3 in history. So that's 1 and 5 in the Super Bowls. That's actually crazy. Sadly, you can't see where players are right now when it comes to the end of this franchise series. You can see it like this. Like, you can go through and see, like, okay, well, who's who and what players are still around. So Kyler Murray, for example, is 27 years old. He's a 99 overall, and he's on the Denver Broncos. Wow. Okay. Danny Dimes is a 99 overall, and he's on the Cleveland Brownies. And wait. How old was he? 27 years old. So I think the oldest player, I'm going to guess, is probably around 27 in the end here. The Dolphins had Aaron. Yeah, the Dolphins had Aaron Rodgers, 99 overall, and he is 13 years old. He never got older than he was when he hit 13. He hit 13, and what's that thing called? I can't think of the terminology. But yeah, so guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.